And then I was hit with this epiphany that I would only pray and really seek and ask for his guidance when I was stuck in a hole and needed his help. Yeah. Yeah. But like, and then that's when I started feeling bad, and I was like, wait, I had this epiphany. Damn, I'm so selfish. I only go to God when I need him, right? And then from that point on, I started praying before meals, before I go to sleep. And sometimes it does become repetitive and it just becomes a habit. And like I try to keep myself conscious of those times and try to get revamped in the spirit, you know what I mean? Yeah. 널 믿는 사람들도 이렇게 많아. 저는 꼭 안아주고 봐. 알아요. 정말 저를 이렇게 믿어주고 저에게 힘을 주시는 분들한테 정말 감사하고 정말 해드릴 수 있는 거 다 해드리고 싶어요. 네. 정말 감사합니다. 진심으로. Yeah. Do I study the Bible? I don't. I really should. I've been watching a lot of sermons though. Stephen Furtick has been keeping me on like a whole new spectrum. He's been teaching me a lot of stuff. But yeah. What were you even talking about? Yeah, I felt as I grew up being... Okay, so when you grow up, like in a home that's like Christian, you kind of just get in the habit of going to church, right? And then like you kind of just like go to church, hang out with your friends. You occasionally like just ditch class or like ditch service like once or twice, and you're like, oh, I'm such a badass. And you jump over the fence and then you go to 7-Eleven or whatever, and you come back in time and you tell your parents that you went to service. Like that's childhood, right? And then you start growing up and you start really listening to a sermon, and then you cry for the first time hearing a sermon because it affects you and God wanted to talk to you in that room. And then real life starts happening. And then problems hit you. And then you start asking God for direction whenever problems hit you. And then you do it over and over and over until you get hit with a wall that tells you, you only come to me when you need me. It sucks. It sucks how selfish we are as human beings. That we forget that our Creator, that the one who loves us without any conditions, is someone that we only go to when we need something. You don't do that with your friends. Right? And this doesn't have to only be like religious. This could be non-religious as well. We do this with our friends sometimes. Sometimes the friends that we take for granted, and we don't even realize that. They've been there so long and we're just so used to having those friends there that we forget to treat them like human beings sometimes. That we forget to treat them like we're their friends. And that also applies to parents. Kids, I'm telling you guys, like right now, you're gonna think your parents like, oh no, they're telling me I need to go to sleep. They're telling me I can't go to parties when I'm like 12. Like, listen, I get it. You want to grow up. You want to have fun. You want to leave the house. You want to be independent. I'm sure this doesn't go for everybody. But for I think most situations, your parents are always going to be looking out for your best interest. And that's just how it is. And that's just how it's always going to be. Your parents At the end of the day, at the absolute end of the day, you come into this world with one thing, and that's family. Don't take your parents for granted. I'm guilty of this as well. I'm extremely guilty of this as well. But I've really been trying, man. Don't take your parents for granted. Just because they've been there your whole life doesn't mean that they're going to always be there. And once you lose your opportunity to be able to express yourself to them, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. True, your parents are your number one fans. True. I feel like my parents trusted me when I was in high school, and they never really bothered me when I go out. Okay, see, you were an A+ student, okay? You were the smart one. You're a smart one. The sad truth is not all parents have their kids' best interest in mind. They can project their own belief onto their kids. I agree, you can't take your parents for granted. I also agree with that. Every situation is different. And that was actually something that we were going to, from Friends, the campaign was going to focus on for Christmas. And hopefully we can narrow it down or funnel our energy into a smaller ratio subject, because we can't just be like, we're going to fix the world and fix the world. We have to tackle one thing at a time. But yeah, don't take your parents for granted. Honestly. That's a big thumbs up. Yeah. You know what's crazy? Even like 5 years ago, like every birthday, my mom would be like, you should give me a gift. And I was like, what? But now I get it. Now that I'm 28, right? I turned 28 yesterday. I get it. Do you, like, really think about it? Think about how many things you've done wrong in your life. Think about how many situations where your parents had to hold in their anger or had to reprimand you even though it wasn't in their best interest. Maybe they were tired from work. Long day doing something, taking care of business. They come back home, they see your report card. They don't, your parents want to go to sleep. Trust me, as an adult, I'm telling you right now, your parents don't want to take an hour to yell at you. They don't. They really, really don't. After a long day of work, I go straight to bed. I can't even imagine having responsibilities like that. But look, what did your parents do? Come in the room, they saw the report card, they yelled at you. They got mad at you. Whatever. They don't want to do that. Half their brain is telling them, I need to sleep, please let me sleep. And the other half is like, I need to make sure that my child gets the best and that I meet his expectations as a parent. And that doesn't always mean that you're going to be happy as a kid. It doesn't. A healthy relationship between parent and child doesn't mean that you guys aren't going to fight. It doesn't mean that you guys are going to be best friends. You could be. You could be. It's very possible it could be, but that doesn't dictate what a healthy relationship is. Your parents are there to teach you the right and wrongs of life. Okay? It doesn't always have to be comfortable to be with your parents. I used to think that I don't belong in this family. I used to think that, man, they will never understand me. You know? Yeah. What if it's the parents that are actually toxic, they hurt you? I used to think that too. And I'm not saying that in your specific predicament you're wrong. But in mine I was. In my predicament, I was absolutely wrong. They told me things, they reprimanded me, they got angry at me, they whipped out the good old stick because they loved me. For me, that's what parents are. Parents are there to mold you. And when things mold you, it's never easy. Think about it. Imagine that you were iron and that you were being molded into a stick. Sorry, played too much Minecraft. Bear with me through the analogy. Imagine you were iron, right? Imagine how much it would hurt to be smelted and boiled in order to become liquid form, right? And then you put it through the shape, and then you dry it up, you cool it, and it becomes a stick, right? Your parents are the blacksmith, and you are the materials. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun for either side. There's going to be a lot of fire, a lot of tension, a lot of heat, and there's going to always there could be great moments, but they're not always going to be great. But at the end of the day, your parents are going to mold you into what they genuinely believe is best for you. I'm not saying that this is for all cases because everyone is different, but for most cases I'm going to tell you. Your parents want the best for you. It may suck when you can't do everything that you want to do. And I know some of you are like, Jay is on some crap right now. He don't know what he's talking about. And like, I get it. You may be different. You may be the anomaly. But for most of us in this room, I'm going to tell you right now. You may hate your parents now, but in 5 years, you're going to thank them for that lesson. Because that's going to mold you into the human being that's able to provide for yourself. Right? There's a saying that says, give a man a fish and you can eat for a day. Teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. They're teaching you how to fish through life. They don't want to keep giving you fish. They're not letting you go to that party because they know that there's going to be bad influences there. They know that that could be the gateway for you to end up doing things that you're going to regret. They don't want you to pursue that career because it's dangerous. And I could tell you firsthand, pursuing music is absolutely dangerous. Some even call it stupid in our field. Because no, it doesn't make money. Not like what people think it does. Your parents may not buy you that Gucci handbag when you're in high school, even though all your other friends have it. Why? Because maybe if they taught you, maybe what they're thinking is, maybe they can make you work for it. And then your work ethic becomes better. It builds character. How about toxic parents? I think you have to really start thinking about what toxicity means. I refer to toxic people as people who spew nonsense for no reason whatsoever. They have no reasoning for it. It's just for their pleasure. I don't know. It's different for every situation. I'm sure that there are some of you who have suffered. And for those who have, I feel for you. And I hope that you find your way. Yeah. But this is for kids like me who grew up thinking that I had the worst family in the world and grew up and realized that I actually had a really good one. Yeah. Guys, really think about it. Like, really, really go and think about it. if my parents really hated me, and if my parents really were toxic, once you become an adult, you don't have energy to do things anymore because you work. If my parents really hated me and were toxic, I probably wouldn't be with them. They would have probably sent me somewhere else. I think that's the end of the conversation for me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That was just my experience. Everyone has a different experience. I need a space from my parents to fix our relationship. That is also true. Sometimes you need space. Some parents are very lenient. But yeah. Go give your mom and dad a hug. Think about it. And I know, because I thought that a lot too. And I'm not saying you're dumb, because in all actuality, it makes sense a lot of the time. All I'm saying is just think about it. Think about it. I could definitely be wrong. And like I said, I will apologize if I'm wrong. I apologize to all those who are in a really bad situation that I have just completely nulled and avoided due to this conversation. But yeah. Really think about it. If my parents were really toxic, why would they waste their time with me? Yeah. Anyway, I know this might be a controversial topic for you guys. And yeah, but I mean, just for the younger audience listening, the older you get, the easier it is to understand that it's much easier to ignore someone completely than to yell at them. Yeah. That's just how it is. Anyway. Have a good day, guys. Have a good night for all of you. If you guys think differently, I 100% respect your opinions. And once again, I'm not right most of the time. I'm literally just talking about my experiences. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. Everybody have a good day. And let's freaking change the world. We're doing it. Laters.